In a significant political development, Pennsylvania has witnessed a major shift in its legislative landscape. Democratic victory in a historically Republican stronghold has reshaped the balance of power in the state Senate, marking a critical turning point ahead. Upcoming elections. Meanwhile, an equally consequential battle is unfolding in Wisconsin, where a state Supreme Court race could have profound implications for the future of democracy in the state and beyond. As financial influence and misinformation campaigns take center stage, these elections are becoming a test case for the resilience of democratic institutions. Democrats flip a Trump plus 15 Senate district in Pennsylvania. One of the most surprising electoral outcomes in recent memory unfolded in Pennsylvania, where Democrat James Malone defeated Republican Josh Parson by a narrow 50% to 49% margin. The district, which had previously been held by Republican Ryan Ammond, was considered a Republican stronghold, evidenced by Ammon's unopposed victory in the 2022 general election. His resignation to take a position in David McCormack's office opened the door for a contested race, ultimately resulting in an unexpected Democratic pickup. Even high-profile conservative figures recognized the significance of this contest. Elon Musk, responding to Republican operative Scott Prisler, amplified warnings that the GOP was at risk of losing the seat. Despite this heightened attention, the Republican Party was unable to prevent the district from turning blue. The shrinking Republican majority in Pennsylvania's Senate, while Republicans still maintain control of Pennsylvania's state Senate, their majority has now narrowed from 28-22 to 27-23. This shift places Democrats within striking distance of flipping the entire chamber in future elections. If they can secure just 2 more seats, the Senate would be evenly divided, 25-25, allowing Lieutenant Governor Michael Stack, a Democrat, to cast tie-breaking votes. In the Pennsylvania House, Democrats have gained a more immediate advantage. Before this election, the chamber was evenly split at 101-101. However, with their victory in the 35th State House district, Democrats have now claimed a 102-101 majority, making Pennsylvania one of only 3 states, along with Michigan and Minnesota, to experience divided legislative control. Wisconsin's Supreme Court race, a battle of influence as Pennsylvania Democrats celebrate their victories. A critical election looms in Wisconsin, where Susan Crawford faces off against Brad Skimmel for a seat on the state's Supreme Court. The outcome of this race carries enormous implications, not just for Wisconsin's legal system, but for the broader struggle against political interference by billionaires. Elon Musk's financial involvement in the Wisconsin election. Elon Musk's involvement in US elections has expanded beyond social media influence. His political action committees, PAC, have funneled over $5 million into ads against Susan Crawford, attempting to sway voters through misleading advertisements. One particularly glaring example featured a photo of a completely different Susan Crawford, highlighting the careless nature of the smear campaign. Beyond media efforts, Musk's financial influence has extended to canvassing operations, where individuals have been paid to promote anti-Crawford messaging. Reports indicate that some voters were even offered $100 payments to sign petitions opposing her candidacy, raising concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. The broader threat to democracy, Musk's growing political involvement, raises troubling questions about the role of money in American democracy. If his influence proves successful in Wisconsin, he is likely to replicate this strategy in future elections across the country. The implications extend beyond partisan politics. This is about whether a single billionaire should have the power to shape state and federal governments to serve his interests. Additionally, Musk's business empire could directly benefit from political control. Tesla currently has a case pending before Wisconsin's court system, suggesting a potential conflict of interest. If he succeeds in getting a favorable court majority, regulatory decisions affecting Tesla's operations in the state could be influenced. Wisconsin's electoral map and the fight for fair elections at stake in Wisconsin is not just one Supreme Court seat, but the future of fair district maps which underpin the state's legislative process. In recent years, Republican lawmakers have pushed aggressive gerrymandering strategies to entrench their power. If they succeed in tilting the state Supreme Court in their favor, they could reinstate heavily biased electoral maps, ensuring long-term dominance regardless of actual voter preferences. One of the most immediate consequences of such a shift would be the potential reinstatement of Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban, a law that has been blocked under the current legal framework, but could return if Republican control is cemented. The spread of misinformation beyond financial manipulation, the election has also been plagued by coordinated misinformation campaigns. Republican operatives, including Scott Pressler, have pushed fabricated stories about election canvassers, falsely alleging misconduct by Crawford's supporters. However, independent investigations have revealed that many of these claims were completely false. In some cases, the individuals accused of misconduct were actually Republican campaigners. Similarly, attack ads against Crawford have distorted her judicial record, misrepresenting her rulings on criminal cases to paint her as extreme. These tactics mirror those used in the 2020 presidential election, raising concerns that such misinformation will become a standard political tool. Conclusion. The urgency of political engagement, the Democratic victories in Pennsylvania signal a shift in voter sentiment, but the battle for fair governance is far from over. The upcoming Wisconsin Supreme Court election on April 1st represents a pivotal moment in this struggle. If voters reject Musk's influence and misinformation tactics, it will send a clear message that democracy is not for sale. With the 2026 elections on the horizon, Democrats must sustain their momentum. Voter engagement and turnout will be the deciding factors in whether these recent gains translate into lasting change. The path forward is clear: vigilance, activism, and a firm commitment to protecting democratic institutions. In this increasingly polarized political landscape, it is crucial for citizens to remain informed and actively participate in every aspect of the democratic process. Beyond simply voting, communities must vigilantly scrutinize political messaging, rigorously fact-check claims, and demand transparency from those in power. The outcomes of these critical elections have the potential to redefine governance both at state and national levels, with every vote acting as a safeguard against the disproportionate influence of wealthy interests and misinformation. By uniting in accountability and collective action, voters can ensure that the democratic process reflects the will of the people rather than the ambitions of a select few. This is a defining moment to reinforce our electoral system, protect our democratic institutions, and ultimately build a future where every citizen's voice is heard and respected.